Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode here on Unscripted. I'm your host, Josh Mansour. And before we get into it, please hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us across all platforms at Unscripted, the show. Today, we've got one of the biggest names in rugby league, Panthers superstar, Clive Churchill medalist, and the man who's been at the center of every big moment for the last 5 years, Nathan Cleary. Nath, thanks for coming on the show, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
You had to wear that shirt today?
Yeah, I actually really like this shirt. Obviously, I'm a United supporter, but it's cool. It's sort of classy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of, contradictory because, Mary's Man City and you're...
Yeah,
United.
well, I've explained to a few people. It's like I still support United in the men's because I'm a loyal supporter, but now it's City in the women's, so she's fine with that.
Okay, I'm sure she is. After the tour,
Yeah.
did you get to travel much?
Yeah, well, I stayed on. Obviously, Mary's based in Manchester, so it kind of worked out well. Got the trip over there and played the Ashes series, and then just stayed on after and stayed with her, and then had a little trip to America in between. But yeah, it was mainly a house husband in Manchester while she was going to training.
I can't picture you a house husband.
Well, I wasn't very good at it. So like anytime she'd go training, I was like, oh, I kind of got to leave and try and do something because I felt a bit guilty. So I'd go to the gym or go for a little run. And
Didn't you do something for Christmas carols as well? Or like you were giving out gifts and stuff?
yeah, that was interesting story. Like I was just out having a solo lunch, as you do, and then this mother and son came up to me and asked for a photo, just having a chat, and then he ended up messaging me on Instagram, the son, and said he sort of works for this charity in Lee, giving out food and that, and just invited me down. I was keen to go, and yeah, they got a really good setup there, so it was nice.
That is unreal. Good on you for doing that.
Thanks.
How was America?
Yeah, it was good. It was full like a bucks of my two mates.
Oh,
so
wow.
there was 19 of us that went.
Where'd
And
you
we went to Nashville and then Miami.
Nashville's random to go for $1, no?
Nah, I reckon it's perfect for $1, especially with that many people, yeah. Because it's just like one main strip and it's just all like rooftop bars. You can just bounce from like place to place. It's pretty loose, like not too many rules.
Nashville's Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts is that on the map, if I'm thinking? Is that south?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Anyway, who cares? How far is it from Miami?
It was about a 2-hour flight.
Yeah, so it would be south.
Yeah, it was
That
like
makes
sort
sense.
of more in the middle. But
nice.
yeah, it was sick.
What made you guys want to go there? Out of
I just heard of-
Vegas?
Yeah, well, a lot of us had already been to Vegas.
Makes sense.
So I'd already ticked that off. A few demons from Vegas. So
Plenty
a
of
few boys
demons.
didn't want to go back there.
Makes sense.
And then we just heard Nashville was pretty mad, like from a few friends that had been there, and yeah, it was good.
And then you went to Miami?
Yeah,
What was that like? That's my bucket list.
bro, it's off its head. It's off its head.
Yeah,
It's off its
Timmy
head.
Zoo just came back from there from a fight camp, and mate, talk about distractions. Why would you go there for a
I know.
fight camp?
I saw him there, and I was like, "Wow,
Oh, no,
that's an
wow.
interesting place to go."
Not
Well, I
been
didn't
to
know.
it.
I didn't see him there, but I saw him like on the socials and that. And we had just left there. I was like, I didn't want to see anything from Miami. I was like, just wanted to relax for a bit.
How would you describe Miami?
It's hard to describe. Like it is cool because you could sort of do like the well-being side of it. Like they have nice cafes and sort of cool lifestyle, beach, obviously, good weather. But then there's obviously the nighttime side of it. That's just crazy. But you need money, like to have a good time. You need to like spend.
So it's like Vegas in that regard.
Pretty much, yeah.
And you went back to
And
England?
I went back to Manchester after, yeah.
How long was that flight?
It was like 7 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too
You've
bad.
done some mileage, man.
Yeah, I know. I've been traveling a fair bit, but I like doing that in the off season. To be honest, like I like sort of getting away and experiencing different things, and also you don't really get like noticed either, which is nice. But yeah,
How's Mary going?
good. Yeah, she's still in rehab, but pretty much
Back
she'll be-
next month, isn't
yeah,
it?
she'll be back with the team full training like now, and then hopefully everything goes well and she can get back playing. But obviously, you know what it's like with ACL. It's a long, tedious journey, but she's done really well, and luckily not too many setbacks. And yeah,
She had a pretty big few months. Didn't she do like a L'Oreal catwalk, and then she released a book as well?
Yeah.
Did the book surprise you? Like, did you know all this was happening, or?
I knew that she always wanted to write a book, and she was sort of like, she plays football because she's good at it. I wouldn't say that it's really like her passion, and she's quite
Really?
open about that. And she has so many things that she wants to do as well, like off the field. So the injury was obviously a frustrating thing. I don't think she realised how much she missed playing football till it happened. But like to her credit, like she sort of just head down straight away and was like, all right, I'm going to rip into my rehab, but I'm also going to use this time to do things off the field. And she saw it as a good time. She got offered the book opportunity and sort of dove straight into that and got that done. And then was lucky enough to walk in Paris for L'Oreal, which is pretty wild.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, and that's something that she probably wouldn't have been able to do if she was fully fit and playing. So a lot of things, sort of silver linings, and she's good at finding those.
There was rumours that you got married as well in the off season. Was that?
You sent me that stupid AI photo. Like, how dumb are you to
I
to
knew
realise
it
that?
was AI.
I
Come
knew it
on.
was AI.
I knew, but I was just saying. Did you see the? look.
Bro, it's ridiculous.
That's scary.
I know, hey,
Like,
I know.
that's-
I had like my aunties and uncles like send that in the group chat. Like, did we miss anything?
No, what? But were they legit or they like just?
I don't know. Like, they're a bit older, so maybe. But there's always just like rumors about us getting engaged or having a baby and getting married. Then there's always rumors about me signing with a Super League club or something. So, yeah.
Oh man, what's the worst rumor you've had? Have you had it? Yeah.
Nah, nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing too bad.
That's what I'm saying. You've been sweet.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mary as well, if we can stay on that topic, did you end up reading the book?
Yeah.
And what can you talk about and share with us with what's in the book?
Yeah, to be honest, like I just read it and just instantly, because as she was writing the book, like I knew that she was going through that process, and there was a few times where she wanted to like ask for my opinion on things of what she'd written, and I sort of said to her, I was like, I want you to just write the book, feel like what you're thinking, because she was working with like a ghostwriter.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of the time she was sort of just writing it herself because she's really into that, to writing, and she journals a lot. And I said to her, I was like, I just want you to sort of go through the process, write what you want to write, and then I want to read it when it's like fully done. So when I read it for the first time, it was like the first time I'd sort of known what she was writing about and what was in there. And it was just an instant feeling of just being proud. Like, she's only 22 years old for
Crazy,
her
man.
to write a book, and I think she was a bit nervous about that too.
The courage, exactly. That was
Yeah,
my next
she
thing.
was a bit nervous. Like, she didn't want to come across like, she's 22 and she's achieved it all. It was more so she wanted to write a book that could help people and help her younger self. And she'd obviously, gone through some mental health issues and a bit of trauma. And I think her writing the book actually helped her to sort of understand
Unload.
it a bit more and unload. And she just always said, she's like, if this just helps one person, that's all I care about. And the way media works, and they sort of grab headlines, and there's a lot of backlash. And as soon as it got released, there was that straight away. But I sort of just reminded her of what she was doing it for, and there was so much positive feedback too. And as soon as I read it, I was just so proud of her for doing that. And it is very courageous.
Do you think that's why sports personalities in particular find it hard to come out with their personal struggles? Because obviously we're in a privileged position. Mary's in a privileged position, and like kind of members of the public don't see that as like they shouldn't, like, you have nothing to complain about. Like, you're living the dream.
Yeah.
Is that, do you find that
For sure.
even for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's great that we've created such a space where we want people to open up and talk about their mental health struggles. And a lot of people go through it. It doesn't matter what position you're in, mental health can hit you at any stage. And it's even like trauma. Like, it's not you can't compare someone's trauma. It just depends on how it hits the person and how they deal with it. And it's all different. And I think, some people look at it and will write comments about, you're making all this money, you're living the dream. Like, why do you have these issues? Like, why are you complaining? But mental health doesn't choose, you know what I mean? It's like,
Those people that are writing that have never experienced it.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard to sympathize with someone as well when they've never experienced like a mental issue. They've never gone through depression. They've never had like a big traumatic event happen in their life. So it's easy to comment on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you never know what's
You
going
have
on
that
behind
perspective.
closed doors as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was so proud of her for doing this, because like, she is a role model, and a lot of people look up to her, like a lot of sports people, and you just always see them in the perfect light. It's like, they've got it all. They're doing the dream job. They're making money. They've got all these sponsorships. They're doing walks in Paris. But behind that, there's things that might have happened growing up, or there's things that are not going well in their life. And for her to have the courage to actually say, I do struggle, and I have these issues that I didn't deal with the best way. But, I want to, create a space where it's normal for these things to happen. And it's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
mental health, as I said, it doesn't choose. Like it just can happen to anyone, no matter what position you're in. And yeah, I think it really opens up the conversation. It really humanizes her, but it humanizes athletes. And
She's more than Mary, the footballer, the Matilda.
Yeah, exactly. And it humanizes people in privileged positions. And she knows that she's in a privileged position, but it doesn't mean that she can't have, mental health issues, and that's fine. And I'm really proud of her.
Is the book online only, or is it on the shelves as well?
Nah, it's on the shelves as well. So
Bloom?
Check
it out.
I'll give you a copy after so you can read it.
You brought one?
Yeah, I brought one. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Speaking of reading, like I do read. Like you can see a couple of books behind my head there. I have read a few of them. I haven't completed all of them. I'll be honest, but I do. Like when I get in the zone, I really enjoy reading. But it has been it is a struggle for me. It's not easy for me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I take it you're a really good reader.
No, I'm not a good reader. It's
you're not?
something that I have to actively try and do, and I'm really slow. Like Mary's a great reader, and sometimes we'll read at the same
Same
time.
with my wife.
She's just pumping through it. But yeah, it's something I enjoy. I definitely feel like I'm in a good headspace when I'm reading more, and I just have more clarity, and I'm able to articulate things a little bit better. But it goes in ebbs and flows. But Mary's book, it's quite an easy read, and it's very intriguing. So I think you might like it.
Oh, I appreciate that, brother. I want to ask about you personally. What's the hardest thing you've had to overcome in your career or life so far? As a former teammate, like I find that not much really gets to you. But sometimes I can tell when maybe you are having like a bit of a bad day. You get a bit more quieter.
Yeah.
I'm naturally the same, but that's what I wanted to kind of ask you.
Yeah. So, like, I would agree. Like, a lot of people would say that, I sort of seem like unflappable and calm and whatever, but I feel like I've always internalized things, and it's probably an issue I've had and still have. And it wasn't until I properly read Mary's book that made me realize it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like I always just feel like if I have a problem, like I just got to deal with it myself. You know what I mean? Like I just got to get over it and work out what's the issue, why it's happening. I don't want to burden anyone with it. And to be honest, I think that's been the greatest thing about having a partner that sort of understands too, is that she's allowed me to open up and sort of like encourages me a bit more to open up about it and talk. And when I do talk about it, I feel so much better. But yeah, I think probably the hardest thing I've dealt with is, well, one, early on, it was the expectation of others and what they thought about me. And I sort of felt like I wanted to please everyone. And then you get this sort of backlash from social media, and they sort of come in to attack the way you play, and then it's all this and that. And when I started out, I was just sort of the young kid, and you could just sort of get away with anything. But as soon as I played Origin, it sort of all changed, and this expectation came from the outside world that you need to be the best player every week. And it wasn't something that I was prepared for at 20 years of age. But I'm so glad that I did go through it, and it really allowed me to look within and set up some structures of delving more into the mental side of things, where I just always thought that you look at NRL and you're just like, oh, it's going to be so physically difficult. But the mental side of it was way, way, way harder. Like physically, yeah, it's tough, but you sort of just get used to it a bit quicker. The mental side of it, getting up every week, the expectation of the fans, the expectation of your own teammates. I found that difficult at the start. And yeah, it wasn't until I sort of sat down in off season and really dove into the mental side of things and wrote down on paper the opinions that mattered to me, my teammates, my coaches, my family, and just creating this sort of circle and I guess force field sort of around me of people that I care about and their opinions that I care about. And if someone from the outside world was trying to come in, I'd just try and would just, block it out. And it took a lot of time, and it still does today. I'm definitely much better at it. I can sort of see something that someone says or a comment and just be like, oh, whatever, like I don't really mind too much. But I guess the development of that is now it's the expectation of myself. And I've struggled with that and still do. I create such an expectation of myself to be great and this person that I really want to be and this perfectionist, and it's hard to live up to sometimes. And yeah, you really beat yourself up. But then I think as well, it's like if I didn't have that, would I have the motivation to try and get better every day? So I guess it works both ways.
Was there one moment in your career where it was hard to bounce back from?
Not really. I think I've been like really lucky to be surrounded by such great people, not only like teammates, but like Dad obviously helped a lot. I think there was one stage in 2019, that year, like the start of the year, where I was just
tough,
like,
man.
it was just awful.
That was so tough.
I was in the worst form of my career, and it was when Dad had just come back to the club. So obviously there was the narrative of, people sort of attacking Dad, but also myself about was it the right move, and I could see that he was sort of going through it as well, which was difficult. And then Origin was coming up, and I just didn't feel like I was ready to play Origin and be in the spotlight of people just being able to like attack me again in that sort of arena. But I had a chat to Hayden Knowles at the time and also Freddie, and they sort of calmed me down. And I think sort of it strengthened me in a way and built up this sort of tough skin. And then luckily the second half of that season we started to play some pretty good footy, and then obviously the following year was much better. So I think it was probably just because me and Dad were going through it at the same time, and it's sort of like I saw the effect it had on not only me and Dad but the rest of my family and like my mum and my siblings, and there's so many more people that get dragged into it that like the outside world wouldn't even realise. So yeah.
Oh, man, I look back at that year and the way it started, I remember coming into it so confident. I was fit, like we were all fit as ever.
Yeah.
We played Para at home and we get touched up and it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like we did not see that coming. It's funny how you said that as well, because like Kyle Flanagan said the same thing when I spoke to him about having that father-son relationship, and him being in the headlines and his father being in the headlines and copying all the scrutiny from left, right and centre from home fans, rival fans. And it's almost like you're set up to be an easy target, because off the bat, like when your dad's the coach, everyone just assumes that you got preferential treatment, which is tough, which you have to live by, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, it was sort of interesting because up until then, like things have been going pretty well for me as like a player. Debuted Origin the year before. So that was part of the reason that Dad felt comfortable coming back to the club, because he's like, I'm just going to be able to pick myself each week. And then all of a sudden, like I just hit this roadblock and just wasn't playing well. And it was just sort of hard because it was that dynamic, and he'd just come back. We'd made the finals the year before. And then, it just sort of, it wasn't great. But I think it's sort of built both of us. I think we've come out of that so much stronger as a relationship, but also just as people and players, player coach, and being able to just sort of block out the outside noise as well.
Well, the evidence is there. They all worked out.
It all worked out then.
Was he in Ukraine for your brothers? Did your brother play in Ukraine?
No, they played in Italy, but he played for the Ukraine. Yeah, it was so lucky. So they were going over for like a Europe trip anyway.
Yep.
And they were sort of hoping that I would make the Ashes team, and they would sort of travel around, then go and watch, and then travel around again during the week. And then it just so happened to be that Jet got the Ukraine reached out to Jet to play, and he was playing in Italy, and they were going to Italy anyway. So it was mad.
Did you end up get over? Nah, you were busy.
So I'd just gone for the Ashes, so I couldn't go and watch him, but they were keeping me up to date, and it was pretty cool. And then after that was done, he came and watched me at like Wembley and also at the Hill Dickinson in Everton. So it was pretty sick.
Ukrainian side's your mum, right?
Yeah. So my mum's mum, she was actually born in a concentration camp in Germany. And then,
what? You haven't told me this?
I haven't told many people it, because she has sort of she sort of like left it behind, because they came to Australia. She was only 3 when they came to Australia, and they had such obviously a rough time that they were just like, all right, this is our life now. We're Australians. So she sort of grew up Australian and hasn't really stayed in touch with her Ukrainian side too much, and hasn't spoken about it too much. And it wasn't until the last couple of years really that we've actually explored it more, and she's become more proud to say that she's Ukrainian, and us as a family have wanted to understand it. And I think it's actually been really cool, and for Jet to actually represent the Ukraine has been awesome. Yeah.
That is unbelievable. I never knew that. Because I knew you had a Ukrainian heritage, but I obviously didn't delve too deep into your family's history. Yeah. But that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's just, it makes you think though, like it's just such a different world, and we're quite privileged to grow up in Australia.
And obviously you decked out in Adidas. Are you sponsored by Adidas?
I'm sponsored by
Oh,
Adidas,
yeah. I was
very lucky.
I was just making sure. Did you get to visit the HQ over in Germany?
Yeah, bro, it was wild. It was
Not many
wild.
people get that opportunity,
I
man.
know, I'm very blessed to do that. Sort of like the last 2 years, we've been trying to work it out because obviously I go over to the UK in every off season.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't really lined up. And then this year I was like, I have to try and just work it out. And yeah, mate, it was an unbelievable experience.
It's in the most random city, though.
Yeah, so you go to Nuremberg, and that in itself is like quite a small town. It's quite cool, but then it's like another half an hour, 40-minute drive outside of that. Like it's just in the middle of nowhere pretty much. But the actual HQ, it's like a uni campus. Like it is huge. There's like so many different buildings. You can stay there, like teams stay there. They sort of designed it mainly for the German football team, like the national team. And so they're out the back of where you stay, the German national team, they were like, the football team, they're like, oh, we're only going to stay here if you, like, we need the field to be like the Allianz where they play their games.
You're kidding.
So they've just done 2 fields that is like the exact same grass as the Allianz. Like it's just like decked out mad. And yeah, it's pretty sick. And then there's like obviously lots of offices, but there's like different rooms where you get like body scans, you get your feet scanned. There's like a room which is like the archive room. They've just got stuff from since Adidas started. Like they're just pulling out jerseys from like 1930, like all the balls from the World Cups, all old boots. It was crazy.
What did you get out of it? Like you've done the body scans and the feet scan. Like what else? Like do they put you in fitted shoes? Like how does that work?
No. So I'm obviously not on that level.
Oh, but I saw the Polaroid picture wide. I was looking at the guys there.
That was pretty funny. So like we did the Polaroid thing at the end, and there's like a big wall of all the athletes. Like there's like Leo Messi, Jude Bellingham, Lamine Yamal, and they were all like there was a lot of people near them. So I was like, obviously I can't go there. They're like, oh, just put yourself anywhere. So looking around there, I was seeing Son. I was like, oh, perfect. I'll go right next to him. But it's pretty, like, to be able to do that, like, you sign this book that, like, you flick through the book. It's, like, all those names in it.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was, like, I was mind-blown by it. And I actually felt really privileged to be there. Like, a lot of time, just, like, a fan. And obviously, we're tucked away in Australia. And Adidas is a global brand, obviously designed mainly for football. But
yeah,
just to be there and the way they looked after me was a great experience.
So you had a shop?
Hey?
Do you have a shop?
I had a little shop, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny that I went to Adidas the other day and I had a bit of credit left, and I'm shopping around, and you know how you got the streetwear upstairs? Yeah. And like it's obviously pretty flamboyant and whatnot. Yeah. Unless I'm pretty not plain, but like I'm not really.
Yeah, your style's not the best.
Excuse me? Oh, wow, that's a bite. I really bit it on. Oh, my God.
This guy today goes, don't dress like a bum for the podcast. I go, what?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
I did.
I go, mate, what are we running here? Like, you trying to get in the marquee?
I want to make you look good, mate. It's a polished. I like to think it's a polished studio.
It's quite classy.
I actually said that. Oh, that's how comfortable I am with you. Yeah, I went in and shopped around, and one of the girls there, Emily, she decked me out in a couple of stuff, and I'm looking at, you know, like you got like the loose pants are in now, like us.
Yeah, you don't really.
It's not me. Yeah. I'll be honest, it's not me. Anyway, she convinced me to buy these loose pants, Y3s, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, you know what, maybe I can rock this. And I came home, my missus laughed at me. Confidence out the window. She's like, Josh, it's not you. I'm like, I reckon I can rock this. I can't.
Yeah,
like,
you just need to commit once.
But she's like, you're trying to convince yourself you can rock them. They don't look good now.
So like when I first bought the loose baggy pants, I was like, I wore it and I was like, but then I just committed to it, and they're much more comfortable too, and I think they look much better. But you know, you've got nice big legs and well defined.
Oh, jeez! Oh, it's getting hot in here.
So I'm not scared to give you compliments.
Oh, I appreciate that. Don't get many from you. Let's talk about the Ashes Tour. Obviously, you've gone over to England, convincing win, 3-0 in the series. First game to kick off out in Wembley. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I was so excited just to go over there once I saw like just the fact that we were able to tour. Like obviously it doesn't happen that often anymore. So
what was it, 20 years? Something like that?
Yeah. And I think there had been 4 nations in between that where I thought you went over there.
Yes.
But it hadn't been that for a while. Like I was lucky enough for the World Cup. It was in England, but the opportunity to actually travel there and just play in an Ashes series, it doesn't come around very often. And then I saw the stadiums that were named. It was like Wembley, Hill Dickinson, which is like a brand new Everton stadium, and then Headingley, which is the Leeds Rugby League stadium, which is notorious for a great atmosphere. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then you get over there, you get in amongst it. Just Captain's Run at Wembley was... Oh, actually, sorry. The weekend before, we watched the NFL at Wembley. It was the Rams versus Jags.
Jacksonville,
Yeah.
right.
So just to see that, it's like, how are we actually playing here in a week's time? Like, it was just mind-blowing to me. And then you do the Captain's Run, you're just looking around, all the history. And then you get to play there, and yeah, it was madness. So.
Yeah, I saw Yowie get a photo with Nakuya.
Yeah. So they presented him a jersey and that. So it's just experiences that you'll remember for the rest of your life. And sort of, I've been so lucky I got to play at Old Trafford as well, which is like a childhood dream of mine. Obviously a United fan. Now I've been able to play at Wembley. So yeah, it's just things that I never thought would happen.
Do you still get like nerves? Do you still get pinch yourself moments when you play? Because you've been in so many moments.
Yeah, well, I definitely still get nervous before any game. It doesn't matter if it's at Wembley or I could be playing park footy. I'd still get nervous, I reckon. They're just sort of things that you want. It's sort of the expectation of yourself, and you want to be a good teammate and play the way you want to. But then I think those are things that you can reflect on. Like even playing at Old Trafford, I didn't reflect on it straight away. But then it's sort of been like this off season, I've sort of thought about the things I've been able to not only achieve, but the place I've been able to play at. Like we played at Vegas at the start of the year. It's just like, bro, as if you'd ever think that growing up that you'd be able to do that.
It's honestly fake.
It is. So they're things that are nice things to experience along the way. But I think, as I said, those are the things that you'll remember when you're old and you're telling your grandkids about it. And at the moment, it's sort of like, yeah, it's cool, little reflection, but all right, what's the next thing?
What are Pommy fans like?
Bro, I actually love Pommy fans. Like they're ruthless, but they add such a great atmosphere. It's something that I wish the culture of Australia would adopt, is like the singing and like
the constant cheering. Yeah.
It's
I feel like it's just you'll be playing a game and it's like you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah,
it's not constant. We're over there.
And obviously they get that from like the football and that, but like just the singing and all that is just, it's so cool. And they make sort of chants for each player. And yeah, actually I really appreciate Pommy fans. And even after the game, like they're fine. Like you'll walk around and high five. There's banter obviously during it, but it just adds to the atmosphere.
Any good sledges from any of the fans directed at you?
No, not really, I don't think. No, to be honest, whenever I'm goal kicking, there's always sledging, whether I'm in Australia or the UK, and it's always about something to do with my chin. They're always just like, oh, why don't you kick this one with your chin? That's notorious across every game. It doesn't matter where I am. But it's actually funny, bro. Nah, it doesn't.
Oh, good.
Like I used to be quite self-conscious about it, but now like it's just a part of who I am. Like I can't change it. No, I should just have a laugh about it. So yeah, it's good.
What's the worst sledge you've ever received? Like, I'm on the sideline. I've copped everything you can think of, but obviously you're the main player, so people would want to try and get you off your game. Worst sledge that comes to mind? Anything?
Nah, not really. Like it's either about my dad or the chin one.
Okay, that's all right.
So
it's boring.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Come up with something new.
But I was pretty impressed actually. The Broncos game in the semi-final, like they'd just scored, and I was walking back to where they'd scored, and it was like Cleary's a wanker, and they'd started the chant straight away. I was like, it's pretty impressive to do that straight away. Like the whole back area behind the try line. It's like, fair play.
Oh, when I played against Lebanon in 2017 World Cup, when I was playing for the Kangaroos, that was the most hatred I copped. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's tough though, because I feel like that's a bit more personal.
That was personal.
I'm not sure most of the sledges I cop of that.
Nah, that's a good point.
Actually, since I've been dating Mary, they'll throw that in there sometimes too, but not disrespectful. They're like, Mary could have kicked better than that or something like that.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Well, tell me about the whole tour itself, because I feel like these tours, like, it's such a great experience. Like, you're playing for the Kangaroos, but you have to perform off the field as well. Let's face it.
Yeah. So I think that's something that a lot of people get excited about is going on tour, and obviously you're in a different place, different environment. People don't recognise you as much, and yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun off the field. I think by the end of the tour, a lot of the guys were just like, so off drinking.
So over it. How bad is it?
Bro, especially the emus. Like, I actually feel sorry for them at some points because they're just like having to back up. So the emus are the guys that don't play. Yeah. So they drink the night before the game, and they drink the night of the game, sometimes the day after the game too. So
Yuck.
yeah,
Oh.
it's like I actually felt sorry for them. They were just so over it.
Did you drink on the plane there?
Nah, so we weren't allowed to drink on the plane there, but pretty much as soon as we touched down, we went out and had a good night. So.
Mate, we 2016 tour. We drank the whole leg to Dubai. It was fucking carnage. It was so bad. It was an absolute.
To Dubai, bro.
Mate,
That's like
it was so. Bro, think about it. Just think about it for a sec.
I could imagine Dubai to England, yeah, but
And everyone was petrified going to sleep because like if someone went to sleep, Trent Merrin went to sleep and he absolutely copped it. He was talking a big game too. Anyway,
of course, it's standard.
Jimmy Maloney killed his life, and then stop in Dubai. Obviously, get on the next flight to Manchester. Same thing. I had enough by that point.
going,
I'll go. I'm not the biggest drinker in the world. I'm like, this is bullshit. Do whatever you want. Like, put tomato sauce on my face. I don't care. I'm just sleeping on this trip. Just leave me alone. I remember we get there, and then I think we got there late in the afternoon. We went out as well. I got back a bit early because I was just cooked from the flight, and I was rooming with Fergo. I got stuck with Fergo, God knows. Anyway, I wake up, 6:30, we have to be on the bus, 7 o'clock sharp. We'll train at Man City's HQ. And I'm in the foyer. Oh, sorry, I wake up, I look over to his bed, not a crease in his sheets. Nothing has been touched. I start wigging out. I'm calling me wigging out. You can imagine. Like it's got nothing to do with me. But like I feel like because he's my roommate, like, he's my responsibility.
That's a good bloke. You're a good
Thank
bloke.
you. Yeah. And I'm calling him. Phone off. And I know he's with Dukes, so I'll call Dukes. Phone off. I lost my head. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. 6:40. I'm sweating bullets now. I'm getting a bit nervous. I'm in the foyer. Like, what's wrong with your sauce? I'm like, no, I'm just a bit tired. Anyway, we get onto the bus. I'm like, fuck, man. At 6:50, do I call? Cab pulls up. Dukes and Ferger gets out, runs in, grabs his bag, get on the bus for 7 o'clock start. It was, I was like, I had his bag. I packed his bag. I had it with me. I'm like, bro, you owe me big time.
There's sort of levels to like drinkers, but I reckon.
I agree.
Like, I couldn't
There's
do
no
that. I
like
have way too much head noise.
stop. There's no stop with Fergo for obvious reasons. I think we all know why. Far out, mate. Best moment of the trip, besides winning, obviously.
Oh, I think being able to play with the caliber of players in the team, like that was, and obviously playing at the stadiums we played at, but just being able to rub shoulders with some of those guys was crazy, and it's still something that I really enjoy because I'm still a footy fan at heart, and I still watch the game as a fan. So to be able to just have chats, even like the guys that weren't playing, like Mitch Moses, Dill wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Blake Brayley. So those like sort of spine guys, like would all come together and it'd be like, me, Munster, Walshy, Harry, then like Dill, Moe, and just being able to just talk footy was so cool, and I really enjoyed that, and it's something that you can grow from, and just talk some shop with the boys.
I saw you mentioning Walshy in one of the interviews, and you were talking about each other's game and stuff like that. What's he like? Yeah,
really good. Obviously, I think some people gain a bit of perception about him just because he's so flashy and all that. But he's actually he's very humble in the way that he wants to get better and learn off other people. Like, I think it would be easy for him to just be like, oh, I know everything and I'll be sweet. But he was really seeking Dill's opinion on like positioning and defensively, and then would come and chat to me about what he wants and how we'd work together. And I think he's the same. Like, he's just like a little kid. Like, he just loves footy and just wants to talk footy and be around it. And I actually really appreciated being able to play alongside him. He's obviously a freak of nature, but I appreciated that side of it too. So, it was cool.
The game, I think it was the last game you won 30-8. It was 30-8, right? Do you guys reckon not only the last game, let's talk about the whole series itself. Like, do you think you guys produced your best footy on that tour?
Not at all. It was pretty poor,
scrappy?
Yeah.
Like, well, how do you describe it?
It was sort of frustrating. Like, I don't think we completed over 70% like for any of the games.
But there's a combination of like things. Like, obviously you're playing with a new team. You're playing in English conditions. That's hard to complete in. But from your point of view, like, what do you think what it come down to? New coach as well.
But I honestly don't know what it would come down to. Like, we'd sort of talk about it after every game. It's like, all right, if we can just complete and like we've got enough talent, it'll just take over and just put us in a position where we can be a bit patient because our talent will win the game. Like if we get ourselves in good positions, but we just kept killing ourselves. And it was probably actually a good testament to our defense. Like I think a lot of people saw our team was like, oh, it's so much X factor and so much talent. Yeah. No one really spoke about the defensive side, but I thought that was what actually won us the games. Like there was a lot of times when we were defending long periods on our line and sort of turning them away, and then obviously with the players in our team would just come up with something freaky and score a try and change this game that way. But yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, like I sort of have some regrets looking back on the series because I think that I went into my shell a little bit and sort of just played a game where I was like, all right, I just don't want to really make mistakes. And as a half, you just can't do that. Like it restricts you so much. Like as a halfback, you got to be willing to
take risks,
and that's where a lot of the magic and the beauty happens. But I don't know. It's like I just sort of went in my shell a bit and told myself like, oh, I'll just be the sort of steady head, and we've got all this sort of X factor and talent around us. Like I'll just sort of get them the ball in the right places, and I don't want to be the one making the mistakes. But yeah, I think that sort of hindered me a little bit, and I probably wasn't in a great mindset in that regard. But obviously, I was just there. I just wanted to win, and we won 3-0. So like I'm not too fussed about it.
Like that's a big positive, right? Like you guys won 3-0. You didn't play your best, but in all 3 games, you were still convincing.
And I actually have to credit England a little bit. Like the way they play, it does throw you off your game. It's so different to what you're used to in like the NRL or versus in some other international teams. And I'll give it to them. Like particularly like their middles are so fit and they're just coming 24/7. Like
aggressive,
they're like line speed, and they were bashing us for a lot of the time, like when we were trying to come out of our own end. So it sort of dragged you into a bit of a dogfight. And that's why a lot of the time, like after the game, I was actually quite proud of the way we played, because it was never going to be so silky and perfect. Obviously, I would have liked to complete it higher, but the way we defended and we sort of just played their game and got the win from it. So yeah, at the end of the day, like would have loved to have done things differently and played better, but
you still walk away with success.
Yeah, like I was going over there to have a good experience, and ultimately the most important thing was that we won 3-0, and I'm happy with that.
So you cap off the series winning 30-8. You win the series 3-0. You're on opposition soil, and still I feel like there's so many headlines focusing on tearing down the team and individuals within the team. Like I'm like, is there like a false expectation on the team itself? Like we like can we just focus on the positive for a second? We just won 3-0. It was a whitewash against England, but I still feel like the headlines were still targeting you, like even you in particular. Did you get annoyed about that?
It's just such an Australian thing to do, isn't
Fuck,
it?
that does my head in. Oh my God. Like it's seriously like really affects me now, because now that I'm on this side of the fence, because why can't we just be happy for the boys? Like, they're doing their best. No one goes there to lose on purpose, put in their worst performances in. We didn't play to our best, but we just fucking won 3-0 in an Ashes series that doesn't get played in 2 decades.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, particularly some of the media, it's like they would have preferred for us to lose one game because it just generates so many headlines, and then it's like, oh, damn, they won 3-0, so let's generate headlines in another way. I don't know. I guess because Australia has been dominant for such a long time in international rugby league, it's like I feel like a lot of people sort of want to see us lose and then build it back up again. I know that they prefer to support the underdog, and sometimes it's like, are there any, like, how do I say this? In terms of like Australian fanfare for rugby league, I don't think there's that much. Like people don't get around it as much as say like Origin or like club teams, where you look at like Samoa and Tonga and the fans they get. It's just blows it out of the water. And they're like, the Samoan and Tongan fans are unbelievable in the way they're just happy to watch rugby league and watch their team on the international stage. I know it's different, but I just feel like they get behind their teams a lot better. But I think that's sort of driven by Australian media too. And as I said, I think sometimes they would prefer for us to lose. And then when you do win 3-0, it's like, oh, why didn't you win by 50? Like, it's just...
I've kind of figured out the game, and Pedro, you could probably weigh in as well because like you were part of the media. I feel like the media like thrive on like the hero villain cycle like so much, especially in Australia. Like I feel like they build up players until they reach like untouchable heights, and then they just tear them down all over again. Like, do you feel that as well when you were in the media?
Maybe. I don't think we read that much into it. For the media, it's more about just getting the most clicks, the most views, the most everything possible, and it doesn't really matter what the player thinks or how they feel. It's about our stats. That's what it is.
Okay, when you with the stats, what got the most clicks?
Negative stories, right?
Negative stories or positive stories?
Nah, it was the most clicks would have been breaking news. So anything to do with breaking news, people want to know about it right now, and of course negative stories.
That's one thing that kind of annoys me about it is like the way it's all set up now, as Pedro just said, it's like breaking news. So it becomes who can break it first, whether it's right or wrong half the time, because then they just save themselves by saying allegedly, you know? So it's like, I don't think there's a lot of due diligence sometimes about what's actually the true story. It's just like, all right, who can get it out first? And then we can correct it if there's, you know, different things that happen. So for example, like one thing that happened was just before the last test, I was talking to a reporter and we were having like a genuine chat. It was like this. And I like that because sometimes I sort of like being comfortable, just being able to like have a chat. And sometimes that's dangerous because sometimes you need to be guarded with what you're saying.
Oh, you don't want to reveal too much with
Yeah. But like this was just like talking about me and my processes and it was sort of about my preparation and how I was getting into different things like meditation and whatever. So we were just having like a normal chat. And then I started to talk about how part of my preparation is like I try and stay off my phone because, you know, it can become like it's the modern world. You're just always looking at your phone, scrolling, rah. And then it wasn't until a couple of days after the last test, and it might have been like Mitch that said it to me. He's like, oh, I saw that article come out saying about your addiction.
I saw it too.
And then I was like, all right. And then I ended up looking it up and it's like Nathan Cleary's secret addiction or overcoming addiction. And it's like that headline's just like so misleading. It's like I was just talking about how like phones are addictive, but obviously that's what comes with the clicks. So it was quite frustrating and it's sort of annoying because then like I look at that and I think, oh, now I don't want to give the media nothing. Like I'll just do the most bland answers where then it becomes like you're robbing your fans of that and the fans of the game. So I think that's why these things are good, like the podcast, because it allows you to speak openly and just have a chat. And I sort of like being able to create that. Like I don't really like the war between like say us and the media. If we're doing an interview, it's like sort of us versus them. It's just like I don't really like projecting that sort of hate or whatever. Like I'd rather just be able to trust them and have a genuine chat. But you know, it's the world we live in, I guess.
It's a shame. And like, I think as an athlete as well, you should never have that us versus them mentality.
Yeah.
Like the reality is media is always going to be there. So how I say it is like treat them respect. They treat you with respect. But as soon as one of them burn you with a shit article, like for example, that journalist there, like, man, I would have been on the fucking phone and I'll be like, are you sweet? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's me. And I've done it before.
Yeah. For me personally, like, I feel like I've got to a point where I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to waste energy on that. And maybe down the track, like if I see him again, I might have a conversation like, what's that about? Like, and sort of explain to him, like, I feel like this is robbing like future talks between us. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to be as open. I don't really want to like then talk about things I don't have to.
Of course.
So
they always deflect too. So when you got the headline, right? So you do the article with the journal, yeah. Then they send it to the editors where they fix the wording and all that stuff, and they pick out what you said in the article and make it as the big headline. But it becomes misleading because it has no context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you said, like, oh, I'm a bit dick.
But a lot of them will also say, oh, well, I didn't pick the headline, like the editors do.
Correct.
But then
correct. It's like a throw off.
But you got to take some accountability. You know? At the end of the day, it's your name to the article. So
personally for you, like, do you feel like after all the big moments and successes you've had in your career, fans and media now have like an unrealistic expectation of yourself?
Potentially, yes, but it's not greater than the expectation I have of myself, if that makes sense.
Your expectations are bigger than theirs.
Yeah, and I'll always be my harshest critic. So that's why I feel like I'm at a point where no matter what someone says, I've already probably thought that about myself anyway. So, and it's something that annoys me personally. Like, I'll always look to the negative, and I don't know if that's just the way we're wired and the way, like, we were just talking about with the media and everyone's drawn to that. I think it is a human sort of physiological thing and psychological thing, but yeah, it's definitely something within me. Like, I'll always look to the negative before I can look at the positives, and I always just want to try and get better and try and correct that, and it drives me mad sometimes. And I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist outside of, like, in everyday life, but with footy, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I could play a 9.5 out of 10 game, and it'll be that 0.5 that I just scrutinise, and it honestly does my head in sometimes, and it's something I'm constantly trying to work at even now. But yeah, it's obviously there. So in terms of like other people's expectation of me, it's like, yeah, it's not greater than the expectation of myself. So it doesn't fuss me. Like, it doesn't, affect me too much.
The reason I asked that is because I'm leading into my next kind of topic about Origin as well, because obviously early this year, like, it was obviously a disappointing loss, but I felt like all the spotlight was on you, and I thought that was a bit unfair because obviously it's a team game, and there's a lot of people, a lot of players that game in that series that could have played better, but it was on you. Yeah. And I feel that because there's, again, a certain expectation that you've set for everyone that watches the game. And when you have a 6 out of 10 game or a 7 out of 10 game, like, it's like, wow, like we're going to bring him down. We're going to crush him. Did you feel that?
Yeah, but I'll gladly say, like, I do think I can influence a game when I'm playing at my best. So maybe there is some truth to that, you know what I mean? And it's easy to just, I guess, pick out the halfback as the problem. But I see that in myself anyway. Like, I know that if I played better, it would have put us in a better position to win the game. And as a halfback, you do have that influence on the game. So as I said, just before, like, the expectation I have of myself, like, I was so disappointed with myself with the way I played. But in saying that, the way I reacted to the fanfare after, I was actually quite proud of myself, and I knew that I'd come a long way. Because I was so disappointed with myself, and I felt like I'd let my teammates down. There was sort of this real feeling of embarrassment, but it was embarrassment for my teammates and, like, representing my family, and embarrassment, like, for myself and my own expectations and standards, rather than I'm embarrassed because people think I'm shit at Origin. You know what I mean? Like, bro, who cares? I'm there to win. I'm there to be a good teammate, and I didn't feel like I did that to the best of my ability. So yeah, it's like, I think with the Origin thing, I'm unfortunate in a way because of Andrew Johns and how great he was on that stage, and I do feel like sometimes everyone wants me to be 2005 Andrew Johns in that. I think it was game 2. Like,
they do.
It's like, if you don't do that, then. But at the end of the day, we're playing the best of the best, and it's a very difficult stage to, excel and have 4 try assists a game and score 3 tries. So, but yeah, at the end, like, that being said, I know I can be a lot better, and I'm actively working harder to get to that stage. And yes, this year was frustrating. And if you had told me at the start of the year, you're going to get back in the Origin arena after a few years off, you're going to get to a game 3 and lose the way you did, I would think that's the worst case scenario. Like, that would be rock bottom for me. But the way I was able to sort of go through that,
Bounce back.
Survived it. I'm here now. It is what it is. But use that as fuel to improve and get better, and actually sit through that pain a little bit. And I took the time to do that. Previous years, I've sort of, when I haven't played well in Origin, we've lost, I've sort of just been like, oh, we're lucky because we get to play the following weekend, and it's just back to club footy. So you can forget about it pretty quickly. Where this one was like, I sort of want to sit in it a little bit and understand why it happened.
Yeah, you're a deep thinker. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, so it was the first time I've watched the game back straight away. And then even just like, I just journaled like my initial thoughts. Then a couple of days later, I wrote down some things again about what I could have done better, what I want to do better for the future. So I think that'll hold me in good stead if I do get the opportunity to get back in the Origin arena. But it's also like, yeah, we're human, and I thought I prepared pretty well, particularly for that game 3, and it just didn't work out. So then it's like, all right, see it for what it is, sit in it a little bit, look back at the preparation. What could I have changed? Did I have a false sense of security about it was just going to all be fine?
Yeah.
And then, how can I be better when it's actually game time?
You know what I love about you? Like, when things don't go your way, you're so quick to address them and try and fix the problem. Like, I'll go back to me. Whenever I had a bad game, I kind of like don't want to go back and see it.
Yeah.
I didn't sit right with me, which is it's such the wrong mindset. I wish I learned that bit early in my career. Like, when you do something wrong, that's when you're going to learn from your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
What did you identify from the game that you thought you could have done better?
So one thing with the preparation was I do think I built up this false sense of security, like, everything's going to be fine. Like, I feel like just the way the past 2 games had gone, like there was a few things that we had identified, and every time we did them, like good things would come, particularly in attack. So I was just thinking, it's just going to, work smoothly like that again. Like, let's just get in the good position to get those plays on and we'll be fine. And then training was going quite well. I felt like I prepared really well. And then you get in the game and it's just a bit different. They start defending a little bit differently. They're jamming a lot. And the thing I was most disappointed with in myself was I just was not adjusting quickly enough to what was going on. And Origin's obviously the hardest to do that because it's so fast and physical and all that. But yeah, I would say that's probably my strength usually, is I can say if someone starts jamming, I can come with a play to identifying cues and being able to apply them on the run. And it just wasn't happening for me, particularly early in that Origin game. And then all of a sudden you're down, 3 tries, and it's hard doing that in any game, let alone Origins, try and come back.
I was going to say that, because isn't that harder? Because you're with a team full of strangers. You're not at Clubland where you've bloody done a whole preseason, you've punched out so many reps with them. So if you do identify cues within a game, it's hard to kind of relay that to guys that don't really, they're not that they're not on your wavelength, but it's hard to kind of, that you don't have that strong chemistry like you do at club.
I would probably disagree, because I feel like we built those combinations through training.
Awesome.
But then that's why I would say that's my fault, because I wasn't identifying it quickly enough. Because if I identify it, I can just tell them where to be and what to do.
Yeah.
That's the job of a halfback, and I know that they'll do it. And I just wasn't identifying it quickly enough. And I think that came back partly to the preparation. Like, I just thought everything was going to run smoothly. So like visualization, for example, is everyone always says as you just visualize the best outcome.
Of course.
And I've always been like that. But
Same.
this was actually a lesson for me, that sometimes you have to visualize things going wrong and how you're going to like bounce back from that, or what you're going to do if this happens.
How are you going to react? Yeah,
exactly. And I feel like I would have. So like, say if I was visualizing them defending differently. So for example, the first few games, he wasn't really jamming that much. And then game 3, straight away, he was jamming heaps. So then if I had sort of like just thought about that process through like, because I was doing a fair bit of visualization leading up to the game. If I'd thought about that process, then it's like, all right, if he does this, then next time I can adjust to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you never know for sure like what would have, like if that game would have been different at all, because I thought Queensland played amazing in that game. Like by far, it was the best performance from the 3-game series.
Yeah,
and to be honest, like we sort of killed ourselves in game 2. Like we should have wrapped it up in that, but then it's just sort of the process I've gone through, like reflecting on it, and yeah, maybe it's just something I can try differently in the future.
Fuck, the way they were jamming on that edge, man, they were jamming recklessly. Like they were just jamming on no one.
But because of the way they defend, they can do that because they work so hard and they scramble so hard.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, like thinking it's like, oh, if I can just find the perfect pass, like say if it's a tunnel or something, even then, like a lot of the time, they were still getting
They were still getting there, man. There were a few times where you guys gave it a crack, but like they were just they scramble, man.
And that's notorious of great Origin teams, is the way you save tries and scramble, and it's never going to be perfect because you're defending with players that you're not used to, but if you can come up with stops, I think that's the foundation of any great Origin team. And to be honest, that was probably what we did in the first game, and it's what we lacked in the second and third game. It's always easy to look at attack, and that's what I look at because I know I can be better in that regard, but defensively is where you win games, I reckon.
It's just like how it panned out, because you guys did to Queensland what Queensland did to you. Like the last series the series before they beat you. They beat you at home.
The first game,
You win on neutral ground, then you beat them up in Suncorp, and then
Sheriff flipped.
What the fuck?
I guess the beauty of Origin, though, right? It's like you just can
They-
never
they-
predict what's going to happen.
I do believe like obviously the passing of Munster's dad, that would have been extremely tough for him personally, but for what that would have done for the team, because I know as a teammate, if that happened to my mate, I will fucking go to war for him. I will do whatever it takes to make sure he plays his best and we get to come away with a win.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they had their best game physically, but also they had like a bit of like they were spiritually galvanized or something,
yeah.
if that makes sense. Like they had another reason to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in saying that, like, you shouldn't need any added motivation to get up for playing for your state. So, it might have helped a little bit. And obviously, Munster's such a dominant figure, and he was the captain of Queensland too. So, but yeah, I thought, like, just to give a shout out to Money, like the way he handled that was incredible, and just to be able to play, like, I don't know what state I'd be in if my dad passed away. So it's a credit to him, really.
I agree, man. I agree. Well, that's part one of our chat with Nathan Cleary. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Nathan has also been kind enough to sign and donate his Kangaroo jersey from last year's Ashes series. So for your chance to win this signed jersey, head to Instagram and enter. The winner will be announced next in part 2 of this interview. See you next week.